Good freestyle music, man. Good feel good music. Clean whole house. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the El Nino podcast. I'm ELADIO Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. I'd like to say welcome to everybody, whether you're a first timer or if you've been watching episode 1 through 7. Thank you for all your love, all your support, all your sharing, all your subscribing, because it's working. We're growing, we're getting bigger, we're getting better. So thank you. I appreciate you, and let's keep on moving forward in every way for sure. And before we get the show started, man, definitely want to send a big shout out to Amanda at Mr. K's. Keith and Kevin Sabuda, much love to you, brothers, and especially Donna Edie. You know, she got the Rich organization out there reaching out to the community, finding resources to help people. We need more people like her in this world, man. But, so today it's episode 7. Got my little cuz here, little Brianna Widdis.
What's up, y'all?
She definitely a rock star, you know what I'm saying? She remind me of Avril Lavigne a little bit, you know?
Really?
She live, though, for sure, man. So, Brianna, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you from, you know, represent for the fam.
Okay, so I'm Brianna Widdis. I'm from E-Course. I'm like...
Hey, it be like that. It's real everyday people. You think this shit easy till you get in front of the camera.
I'm like, wait, what do I say? What have I been through?
It's all good, baby. We gonna roll with you. Don't even worry about it. So, you from E-Course?
From E-Course. I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's cool, man. It happened to the best of us. You know, so where'd you go to school at? You know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit about your parents, stuff like that. I know. So you grew up at E-Course. What school did you go to?
I went to E-Course schools all my life, and I graduated from there as well.
Okay, big ups
so
to
I'm
that.
still cool with everybody in E-Course. Shout out to the people that I graduated with, because they my fam.
Okay. That's cool.
I'm related to Turtle. Shannon Widdis, Turtle.
Oh, definitely. She infamous E-Course celebrity.
But
we having fun up in here for sure.
I was raised by my dad. He was a single parent. You know, I had my family, like my dad's side there with me. I had my mom's side there too. You know,
Okay, so where was your mom from?
She's from Tennessee, but she, migrated to Lincoln Park and then made her way to Detroit. Met my dad. You know.
Okay. They got the rapping, and that's how it happened, huh?
Basically, and then there's me.
Okay, then. That's dope. So what was it like growing up with your dad? Like, what kind of dad did you have?
Okay, so it was nice growing up with my dad, but it was just harder when it came to emotional support when I didn't have my mom there as much. But it was good. He was just struggling because he was a single father, so he got as much help as he could with my aunties, my uncles, cousins, just whoever could help him the best.
You know, it's crazy because a lot of times we hear stories about single moms raising 2, 3 kids on their own. But when we're talking about your story, we're talking about a single dad raising 3 kids.
Yep, that was my dad. I didn't grow up with my mom. I grew up with my aunties.
Okay. So, what was the situation with your mother?
So she was a drug addict. So she wasn't really in my life a lot. So that was.
No, I can't imagine what that would feel like to have a mother that was a drug addict.
It was hard, especially when it came to like when I needed her the most. Situations like being bullied and in school being bullied and stuff like that, and growing through puberty without her. It was hard. It really was.
No, I can't imagine. Not having like a female figure there to be able to share those stories with, those experiences with, and I don't know how comfortable or uncomfortable it would be for a father, to have that conversation with his daughter. Unfortunately, I had spent half my life in prison, so I didn't get to raise my daughter. So I never got the experience of having them conversations with her either. But I salute your pops, man, for
Hmm.
doing his best with what he could, you know what I mean? And I think that, um, I just, I hope that, like, who were the female figures that you had to look up to?
So I had my father's sisters. I had Shannon Widdis and Anna Widdis. I had them. Those are my aunties. Thank God for them. They were like a blessing to be there. And I had my mom's sisters. I know my mom wasn't there as much, but I had her sisters with me, my aunt Amber and my aunt Tiffany. And my aunt Brittany lived in the Upper Peninsula, so she wasn't there as much, but she was as much as she possibly could be. But it was hard. Like, honestly, my dad is I don't know, he's kind of hard to talk to because he's just like an aggressive person, and he's sometimes can be judgmental of certain situations. So it's kind of hard to talk to somebody like that. But he was still there for me whenever I did talk to him. So I mean, I had support, but
That's dope. That's good. And you're very fortunate to have that.
yes,
Even
very.
with your situation, being raised not having much,
Mhm.
growing up struggling, at least you did have some type of support system, because I've heard so many stories, of people just not having anybody to turn to for help, for advice, for
Right.
shelter, for
Mhm.
food, for anything, and a lot of them people, the person they reached to the most when they didn't have nobody else is they reached to God. They learned how to pray, they learn how to build a relationship with God, when you get that low. But, thankfully, God bless you with some angels to help guide you on your journey. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, much love to that. You know what I mean? And, so what was your relationship? Now, I remember before you mentioned that your mother was always in and out of your life due to her drug. And what drug was she addicted to?
She was addicted to heroin.
Wow. That's sad, man.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I lost her to that too. So it's hard, and I just really advise people not to do drugs. And I know sometimes people be going through stuff, but it really does, like, it's like a mental disorder basically, because it's an addiction after you try it. So I just like basically try to tell people, like, give them the best advice not to do stuff like that when they're going through hard times. Like, try to talk to a therapist or something, your friends. Try to do everything you can before you just go straight to like that environment.
I know you had mentioned your mother and you were describing your mother a little bit, and you talked about how good of a person she is, but getting caught up in that web of addiction, just turned her, into a bad person due to the fact that she was an addict. When you become a drug addict, you become a slave to the drug, and you no longer are who you are or who you were supposed to be, because you live your life serving the addiction. And I see a lot of it today, and more so now than ever. We're talking about pill addiction, heroin addiction, crack addiction,
Alcohol, everything.
alcoholism. Absolutely. And all these addictions contribute to so many problems that are impacting communities and society as a whole. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we got to work on healing. We got to work on getting sober and just being better at every on every level, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and pray for our loved ones who are in that struggle, because they lose themselves, once you become a drug addict. And
And it affects your family. Really, it affects everybody that you know, your family, your friends, everybody that's around you. It really affects them because it's like we don't want to have to deal with that because it's hard to think about. You might lose somebody to that and stuff like that. So it's hard. So
and it's crazy because like they're young now. Like, I see a lot of young drug addicts.
yes.
And it's like, what is it that's drawing people to drug addicts? Like, is it problems? Is it stress? Is it anger? Is it depression? Like, whatever it is, it's like we got so many layers of issues that we dealing with in society that, like we need to start peeling up these scabs and start opening up these wounds and start getting to the root of our issues and our problems, because people keep covering up layers and decades and centuries of pain and grief and stress and frustration and struggle and hate and anger, and they're just continuously making bad decisions, and then it becomes a contagious, becomes
Becomes a
part of a cycle.
continuous thing. Yep. Mhm.
Absolutely. And it's just unfortunate because it affects so many people in so many different ways.
Especially emotionally and mentally.
And you said you lost your mother to her drug
Yes,
habit.
I did. So I just wanted to come on here and promote this because I know it's a thing, and I know it's hard. It's really hard for people like that have like a mentality like that to just go and do what they feel is best. Like, oh, I'm feeling like this today, so I'm just gonna go get high because it takes the pain away. But and so I know it's hard for them, but I don't know. I just wish there was a way that we could help other people to try to like you know
So you said she did go for help though, right? You said she
she
was at a recovery place. She had even started taking what, Suboxone strips, you said, to help
yes.
her with the heroin. Like, what was it working for her? Was it working against her? Like, I have a full understanding of what Suboxone is, but what I've been told is that heroin addicts use Suboxone strips to wean them
To
off,
wean them, yeah.
yeah, off the heroin. But I know drug addicts who take Suboxone strips, and they do
Just
that
to
to
get
get
high
high.
off of that. Yeah, because it's
So it's like, are we combating a drug with a drug, or like what's really going on? Because if you're utilizing Suboxone for heroin addicts to get off heroin, but people are still getting high off Suboxone, I feel like we're beating our own purpose. We're just giving
basically
them a good high for a cheaper price.
basically, yeah. That's what I always thought. That's how I looked at it. But yeah, my mom, ever since I was I'm gonna say like 6 years old, her and my dad broke up and it was downhill from there. She was already starting to go downhill like from before they broke up. So that's why they broke up, part of the reason.
Oh.
And she's been in and out of rehab centers since then. She's been in and out of my life trying to like be there for me, and but she didn't want to be around me and my sister and my brother in that state. So like she wouldn't come around if she was all messed up, you know what I mean? Like so
So she got high a lot, so she stayed away a lot.
yeah, but then she would come back whenever she would be in rehab. Sometimes it would be a few weeks, sometimes it'd be a few months, and sometimes it'd be a year up to 2 years, depending on how bad she wanted it to be over with. And she honestly wasn't that type of person. She's a really good person with bad intentions. Like she was a really good person, and anybody that knows her will tell you that. So everybody just basically would look at her and down her because of her habits, but it wasn't always about her habits. Like even Turtle would tell you she was close with my mom. She knew, like people know that she's such a high spirited person. So it's not always about like drug addicts, they just want to get high, this and that. Like, no, sometimes they're really good people and they want to do better for you. They want to do better for themselves, for their family. And that was my mom. She tried her hardest, like it's been a few times that she's tried to better herself, but
You even mentioned that she had went to prison before too, right?
yeah, she was in prison for 3 years, 3.5 years.
Okay.
I
And
don't
what was that
remember.
like for you?
Um, so my state of mind was okay. My mom's in prison. At the time, I was younger, so I'm like, she's healthy. Like she's gotta be like, she can't be doing drugs in prison. But um, I don't know. I just basically thought she was doing good. So I would write her back when she would write me. I would send her pictures back when she would send me stamps. She would send me stamps. That's how bad she wanted.
Wow.
She would send me stamps
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
send her stuff
I
back.
know it. I know that very well.
So yeah, it was. I thought it was better when she was in prison because I knew it was 3 years and she was sober. So
And what's crazy is that when I was prison, I knew a lot of when I was in prison, I knew a lot of guys who were drug addicts, and their families actually supported them very much in prison financially with visits, and they just felt better in general knowing that their loved one was in prison because they felt like they were recovering, that they were
Yep.
getting the help they need, that they were sobering up. But in all actuality, a drug addict's gonna find a way to get high, and drugs, they make their way in prison as well. So
I watch prison shows now that I'm older, and I'm like, wow, people really can get high in prison. But back then I didn't know that, so I just thought she was sober. Who knows if she might have, but she came out and she was looking healthier than I've ever seen in my entire life. She was thicker, had thicker skin, everything. So
and you would think that somebody, after spending 3 years of their life in prison, they would do a lot of growing, a lot of maturing, sobering up, and you would be like, why would a person come home after being healthy and being sober and want to just get back into that? And a big part of that is coming back to prison and going back to the same neighborhood, the same crowd, the same people doing the same things that you was doing 3 years prior. So people have to hold themselves accountable about the crowd that they keep around, and the activities that they're involved in, because like they say, birds of a feather flock together.
Yep, that's exactly true too.
Yup. So we definitely have a lot to talk about with Brianna, because she got a lot going on. But before we get into too much, what I'm saying, we're gonna take us a 2-minute intermission, and then we'll be back and we'll talk some more with Bree.
There is a rose in Spanish. Maybe I shouldn't say so much. It gets me into trouble because I can't trust my mouth. I said too much. I'm better without you. I know you know I regret the things that I say when I'm upset. So many things that I forget. She's gotta run me like an elephant, and I take back every word I said in anger. Those words are a danger. Turn lovers to strangers. Just can't take it any longer. We should be getting stronger. We just keep getting stronger. Yeah. Why can't I say I love you as easily as I forget to? And why don't I say the things that you say? You love my women when I could just say I love you instead. Ooh. Why can't I say I love you? Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have done so much to make you lose faith in me. Baby, please don't make me get on my knees. This is embarrassing, but I'll keep on begging until you're done. What I gotta sing just isn't fun. Don't walk away, you're the only one. Don't wanna live without you. And I take back every word I said in anger. Those words are a danger. Turn lovers to strangers. Those words just said in anger. We shouldn't become strangers. This is our danger.
This is the ELADIO Nino podcast. Real everyday people. We got Brianna Widdis in the building. This is how we do it. Lit music entertainment.
it inside. For you to believe that I let you in. Go on with my life and begin to regain my strength to find somebody who will never work my time. Your mistakes no longer will my heart be played. I promise myself to look ahead, never look back to yesterday.
I used to be a puppet, and you would pull my strings just to be with you. I'd do most anything. I'd do most anything. I was so blind that I could not see. For you had become a part of me.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for staying tuned. This is the El Nino podcast. I'm ELADIO Nino, and this is Real Everyday People. So thank you for staying tuned. And if you're just getting in, you know you in for a story. So before we left, you know we got Brianna Widdis here, little cuz, straight from
What's up?
E-Course,
What's up?
representing. So, you know, she's been sharing a little bit about her life and, you know, where she came up and what her life was like being raised by a single dad. She also had a mother, you know, that she loved very much, but unfortunately she had, you know, a drug addiction. So she was in and out of Brianna's life, off and on. And, you know, eventually she ended up passing away from using drugs. So, you know, she's been sharing her story with us, you know, in hopes of being able to connect with other people and, you know, just hoping that, you know, those who can relate to her will be able to find some peace in their lives. And for those who have never experienced, you know, her struggles, that it opens up your mind and heart, you know, to have compassion for people who are going through these types of situations. So after, you know, being raised by your dad, you know, you're growing up now, you're a teenager. At 17 years old, you decided that you want to move out on your own, huh?
Yeah, I moved out when I was 17. I was struggling at home to like get along with my dad and his girlfriend at the time, especially his girlfriend, which made me not really get along with my dad at the time. So, yeah, I moved out and I'm actually downgraded. I literally moved out from a house that had everything, like roof over my head, all that stuff. I moved into like a foreclosed, basically an abandoned house, and I only had electricity at the time. I didn't have heat, gas, I didn't have water. I had to take showers at other people's houses. It was hard, but I did
It's
it.
rough.
I came up.
Prison sound good compared to that. You know what I mean?
I'd rather be in prison.
Man, I mean, so like, what was that like? Like to be the age of 17 years old, you know, moving out on your own, you know, being stressed out, you know, the struggles that you had already been through, bumping heads with your dad, bumping heads with your girlfriend, you know, just wanting to break away, feel liberated, get out on your own, explore something new, or just get away from your problems, period. And then you put yourself in a worse situation because you were trying to get away from your current situation. So, like, what was it like living in an abandoned house? Like, that's a story in itself. I want to know what that's like.
It was hard. I mean, I couldn't cook because I didn't have gas, none of that stuff. So I literally just like we would have frozen meals in the freezer, you know, just refrigerator foods that we can like heat up in the microwave. So that was pretty irritating and rough. And
And how long did you stay there for?
I stayed there for about 8 months. I stayed there until what was it? I stayed there until December when it got really cold and I didn't have no heat, so it just like I couldn't take it no more. I was staying there with my girlfriend at the time, and we basically we didn't even have jobs. We were still in high school. Well, she was still in high
Man,
school.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I basically was just paying the electric bill off of babysitting money because I babysat.
Wow. I mean, you survived the best way you knew how, man. Like,
Off.
what did your dad think? Like, did he know where you were living or what your situation was like, or like, I mean, did he reach out to you, try to help you, or just were you just like, you know what, I'm on my own, I'm living my best life, or you
Well,
know,
he knew everything, he knew it all, but I didn't really I don't know. I talk about it much when I went over there because I didn't want to like I did bump heads with him, but I didn't want to just try to make him feel bad about it. I didn't want him to be like, "Damn, well, why you?"
it was just part of your growth, your personal growth.
Yeah, and I basically came up from there. So it's just I don't know. We came up from ramen noodles in the
I
microwave.
can relate. Lots of ramen noodles. I just bought some yesterday. They talking about shutting us down on Wednesday.
Right,
Oh
right.
Lord, got to go get the toilet paper and
Oh my
everything.
gosh, dude, no.
Everybody need a deep breath for this one. You hear me? So you said you moved in with your girlfriend.
Yeah, I moved in with
Okay.
my girlfriend at the time.
Okay. So you're gay then.
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
All right. So like how did that come about? Like how old were you when you realized that you had a certain sexual preference or something like that?
So I don't really have much of a story because I didn't really have a preference until I started dating girls. Really, I really just started dating her. She was my first relationship. She was like I didn't really date nobody, or I had crushes in middle school on boys, but I never dated no boy or none of that stuff for real.
Okay.
So, but yeah, she was my first.
So you wasn't as promiscuous.
No, I wasn't a normal teenager like my sister was. She was the sneaky one, and she was the one that was all caught up in boys and stuff like that. Like I never really had a real relationship until I was 15, and it was with my girlfriend of 7 years.
Wow. 7 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, we were together that long.
Yeah. Like at any point in time in your relationship, like did you ever feel like you wanted something different, or like you wanted to try being like with a man, or or were you fine with it, and how did your family feel about it? Like when you had to break that to the family, or they started, seeing a change in you, or
Um, so I never during our relationship, I never really I didn't think about nobody else because she was my first love. She was my first everything. So
okay.
like I was just really stuck on her. Like we were like this. So I didn't really have no preferences for anybody else or any other, no boys or anything like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
But my family, um, they're actually pretty supportive for the most part. It's just I kind of bumped heads secret animosity with my dad when he first found out.
Okay.
And that was kind of rough because every time I would get in trouble, teenagers getting in trouble for stupid stuff. Every time I would get in trouble, I would feel his animosity more than how my little brother and my older sister would get in trouble for things. It would be more aggressive.
So you felt like there was some more underlying emotions, issues that he had against you.
Yes,
So
definitely.
anytime there was an issue with you guys, like it was raised up due to the fact that you felt like he had some type of animosity towards your situation.
Yes, for sure. I definitely feel like he did because my dad definitely he was one of the traditional type. Like he grew up traditional
Mhm.
and female and male perspective, like that's
Okay.
supposed to be a relationship.
Mm.
But he never really told me anything. I could just feel it, I feel like he didn't want to basically tell me I don't agree with this, but I could feel it. You know what I mean? Through emotion and stuff.
So I remember that you also mentioned something about you already felt like there was a little bit of tension due to the fact that you revealed that you were with women now, that you preferred women, and then also her race, her being black, and
Yeah.
you felt like because not only do I like women, but I like black women, and so that's another underlying issue that a lot of older generational people hold on to their old belief systems, and sometimes it can become a conflict of interest with today's generation. But
Yes.
the
Very.
way I see things is, this generation, They're breaking down all the barriers. They're building all the bridges. Like everybody's being who they want to be. And I salute everybody who lives daily with love and liberation in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Because they live freely and they love to live and they live to love. You know what I'm saying? So that's beautiful to me. That's growth. That's evolution.
But it's not to everybody else. Like it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, my dad, he's okay with me now because I also like I have a girlfriend, a different girlfriend, and she's also African American.
Okay.
But my dad is completely okay with it now. Like I was in a relationship with my last girlfriend for 7 years. He kind of didn't have a choice, so he got used to it, and him and my last girlfriend would bump heads a lot because of how we came up together and how my dad basically like felt like that.
Okay.
But now my family honestly love my current girlfriend, like they love her.
Nay, what's up with you?
What's up, baby?
No, that's dope though. And I met Nay and she's awesome, good people. She got a live spirit just like you.
Yes, she does.
Shout out to my cousin D. What's up? We're gonna get you over here in a minute. Talk to me.
We be doing TikToks together.
No, that's dope. So 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 now you were in a 7-year relationship, right? And now you've been with Nay for 3 years. And how has that been going?
We're perfect. This is like the best relationship ever. I love our relationship. It's so much better. Like I don't want to like down my last relationship, but it's better because we're more like grown together and we grew together more, and it's just, being older, it's different.
Mhm.
So we actually have similar personalities, and we just really vibe together.
Okay. So like my cousin D, she a stud. And this is a term that I learned from her because, there's so many people in society who don't know the proper terminology, how to address, people who are gay. And, like before, what is she, a butch? Is she a dyke? Or was she a bud dyke?
She a femme.
And one time I said that to my cousin D, and she snapped on me like, dog, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, cuz I don't know. I only know what society taught me.
Right.
And then she taught me about studs and femmies. You know what I'm saying? So once I learned it, started learning the language and what's acceptable, you know what I'm saying? So I was able to address people appropriately. But a lot of times people who don't know and don't understand, the language or the titles, and they just sometimes say what most people would say. And, it could be very offensive. So, let today be a lesson. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, period. I don't get offended by none of that stuff, though. Honestly, I'm just that type of person. I don't really get offended. And I hope that, like, other people don't get offended. Like, it's evolving. It's just evolving.
Oh,
so.
yeah. And I seen it because, like, when I was in prison and these last probably 5 to 6, 7 years, like I seen the crowd of people that were coming in and all the youth that they was getting locked up. And, a lot of people have this thing that, you come to prison and, some guys get turned out in prison, just like women get turned out in prison.
Yep.
But a lot of these guys, they were already coming in, gay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was like a new wave. Like they had their own population now, within prison, just like they had the mentally ill, they had a mentally ill population. And so I started to, by watching the generations of people that were coming into prison, that's how I kept up with how society was functioning and society's new moral system and moral values, you know what I mean? And I just started seeing that, all the barriers were being breaking down. I come today and people are just, they live so free spirited, man. And it's good, to be able to live like that.
It's
You got a fan by the name of Marie Harris for DME Music.
Okay.
who, Demira Harris.
No, her name's Marie Harris for DME Music.
Oh, what's up, girl?
No doubt about it. Thank you. Yeah, she got loudies.
I definitely do. I'm just a little nervous because I ain't never did this before. I ain't even gonna lie, but
Talk about your pages. Let them know you want to see you.
my
yeah.
Facebook and stuff.
Listen, definitely check her
y'all,
out.
Y'all gotta follow me because you really will see some good stuff. Okay, I'm not even gonna boost.
Yo, she can listen. You
So-
want to laugh? She got something for you to laugh to. Everything. Go ahead. Tell them a little bit about what you do and why you do it.
I do TikToks, and I'm really good at it because I have a lot of personality. So
Okay, so how did it start? Like, how old were you when you first did it? Like, what platforms did you use? How did you evolve with it? And tell us about the, your top videos, all that
Yeah,
good stuff.
it definitely evolved because it started off in 2015. How old was I? How old am I right now? 24. I don't know. It started in 2015, and it was originally Dub Smash. Some of y'all know what Dub Smash is. And I'm like, okay, people are lip syncing. That's kind of funny. So I'm gonna start doing it. And I started doing it because it was trendy and it was funny and people loved my videos. So basically, when I seen that my crowd loved my videos, I started doing it more and more, and I was getting better and better. And then it turned into Vine, and then it turned into Musically, and then it turned into TikTok, and now TikTok, I'm finally like a little bit up there. So I definitely got a following on TikTok. Y'all should follow me. My name is Bregoon, Bregoon.
So you said you got a specific TikTok that you had done that was very successful. Like, tell us about that,
So, oh my goodness. So it was a video of my cat, and I heard on TikTok, like I've seen it on TikTok before. I've seen that if you scratch the bristles of a comb, it'll make your cat gag, like he's like he's about to throw up. So I'm like, that's not true. I seen a whole bunch of videos. So I tried it, and my other cat, he didn't gag. So I'm like, okay. So I tried it with my other cat, and he gagged. And I'm like, oh. And that was the video. I was scratching the bristles of a comb, and my cat gagged. And I got over 3 million views. I got over 300,000 likes. I got over 5,000 followers from that video. Like, it really put me out there.
That's dope.
So it's basically just my videos of other people that get me famous, I guess.
Shout out to all the cats gagging out there.
But I felt bad. I felt bad afterwards because I'm like, I feel like a celebrity now. Like, I'm getting all the wrath. Like, in the comments, I had over 11,000 comments of people saying, "Oh my gosh, you're making your cat have a seizure. You're doing this. It's bad for him." I'm like, oh my gosh.
So you got a lot of negative feedback as well.
Yes, but a lot of people were like, not bad.
Yep, that's some of her stuff, man. Check her out. She's definitely live. She would definitely entertain you.
Definitely make you laugh. That's my favorite thing to do on TikTok. I love to make people laugh. Like, there's people that lip sync. There's people that, do their own videos. I'm on videos sometimes, but I like to lip sync some funny stuff.
I'm gonna do me a dolphin dance TikTok. I'm gonna be like, whoa,
right?
Whoa, we should, forever, baby.
Me and ELADIO,
live action.
Me and ELADIO gonna do a TikTok together after this.
Shit, I'm with it. You hear me? Hey, but it's crazy though, because she was talking about all these platforms that she used. So I'm like, she's talking about Vine and Musically, and that just shows you how the platforms and technology is evolving and how you have to keep up with the game. If you want to stay in the race, you got to evolve with the times and with the people and with the platforms, with the opportunities, the situations, the positions, and all that good stuff. So if you a slacker in life, you're gonna lose in this race.
Yep. And I came up from nothing, for real. I didn't have no followers. Until I got a TikTok. That's when everybody was like, oh, okay, I'm about to follow her. She's funny. So that's really this app right here. This the app that got me going, for real. That's the only app I'm not lame on. For real, I ain't even gonna boost. It's the only app that I'm not lame.
That's dope though, man.
It shows my personality the most because, it has all my videos. There's a bunch of videos of me just doing dumb stuff. Drinking, dancing, partying.
So what like what's the future look like for you? Like, what is it that you want to do or accomplish? Like, do you do this for fun, or do you think that there's a future in it, or some type of possibility for growth, or
There could be a future because I do have the personality and the looks. You know what I'm saying? I got that. But I also decorate cake, so I really just want to own my own bakery and continue being a cake decorator.
I like cake.
And I'm dope. I'm dope at it, by the way. I'm dope.
Damn. So tell us that story. How'd you get into making cakes?
So I
You
started.
might be able to
off-
make our wedding cake next year.
So I started off working at Meijer, and I was a stocker at Meijer. If y'all don't know what Meijer is, if y'all in a different state, it's a convenience store. It's like Walmart. So I started off there in the bakery, and I was stocking shelves, basically, just like the stuff that came in frozen. I would stock that. But I would just really see all the cake decorators at the cake decorating table, and I'm like infatuated with it. It was awesome. So I taught myself how to do it. I was a baker. I taught myself time I would be decorating with the icing bags, doing whatever I can. And I basically taught myself.
That's dope. That's sweet.
Yep.
So how were you able to evolve in there? Like, did you stay at Myers or did you like go somewhere else? And
so I was from Meijer. I was doing some cakes from home, but I didn't really have all the proper equipment at home. So I was doing as long as it was simplistic enough.
Mhm.
And then I eventually made my way into a real bakery owned by a family. So it was like
Okay.
they taught, because like at Meijer, everything comes in frozen and stuff. We just have to, it's easier. But when I started working at a real bakery, we had to make homemade frosting, homemade cake batter, homemade cookie dough, homemade bread, homemade everything. So I learned how to do all that. And that was dope because I like to bake. I like to cook.
That's
so
sweet. That's sweet. Can you give them some information? Well, I know right now with everything going on, it's kind of skeptical or in the air, but at the end of the day, give them the information. You got the platform. Utilize this podcast. Let them know who you are, how to get a hold of you, what you do, because she does good work. I seen her portfolio. It's dope.
Yep. So I don't really do a lot of cakes from home, but if you message me and hit me up and see if I could do it, I'll let you know or whatever. But you could just hit me up on Facebook. My name is Brianna Widdis on Facebook. BriannaWiddis, and I'll let you know.
Holla at her. Yeah,
let
no
you
doubt
know.
about it. Show you some love for sure.
I gotta
she
get some more
definitely does good
equipment
work.
so I could do it from home.
Who was it? You that showed me a cake with a high heel shoe on it? No, I seen a high heel shoe on the cake.
Might have been me, because the last bakery that I worked at, they did 3D art. It was crazy. They did so much stuff. So it might have been me.
Okay, that's sweet.
I've been through so much stuff there.
And you certified now too, right?
Yeah, I'm a certified cake decorator. I had to take a test. Yeah.
Yes, got the credentials with the skill for sure.
I had to take a test, okay? I had to do that.
That's dope. But listen, we're gonna take us another 2-minute intermission and we'll be back. Stay tuned.
Another Batman production.
Tonight you will feel how it feels to be a part of something worth holding on and having a chance to think about ways of advancing. I cannot stand alone. Tonight I wanna hold you to feel you deep in my heart. Tonight I wanna take you away into the night with me. Girl, I'm trying to hold you forever in my arms. Whoa, tonight, girl, I'm trying to hold you forever in my arms. My sweet night, girl, I'm trying to hold you forever in my arms. Whoa, tonight, girl, I'm trying to hold you forever in my arms. My sweet there is only one solution. Life with me, together and forever. Give us a chance and you will see. I am not just another lover. Why are you so cruel to me? I am not just another lover. We were always meant to be. Oh,
Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is the El Nino podcast. I'm ELADIO Nino, and this real everyday people.
And I'm Brianna Widdis.
You better know it.
Free from the 313. Don't forget it, baby.
Thanks for staying tuned to us, man. So we've definitely been having a blast with Brianna over here. She been sharing her story. You know what I mean? How her little TikToks shows she be doing. She decorates cakes. She does all kinds of stuff. Very vibrant soul she got, man.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Y'all won't never forget it. You won't.
So, there was a question I want to ask that we had discussed during the interview, and I didn't have the time because we were talking about so much. But I just wanted to take advantage to ask you, like we had talked about motherhood one day, and I had asked you, like, how do you feel, about one day wanting to be a mother, or give birth, something like that. So,
because I'm gay, obviously, I definitely want to have kids still. I would prefer to have my own, but I also want to adopt a kid who really needs help in the system. I've always been like that. I've always wanted to adopt a kid that really needs help. There's so many of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have newborn babies that are looking for homes with families, and
But even if it's like, because you can go through an adoption agency while the woman that you're adopting from is still pregnant, and I've always wanted to just go through an actual system because there's kids that are already there that need a home. You know what I mean? Okay. And there's other people that'll go through the agency for a newborn kid. There's not a lot of people that go through the system that want to adopt a kid that is in the foster care. Because a lot of kids in foster care have problems and stuff like that. But that's the thing. You got to try to prevent that. You got to, while they're still young and stuff like that, you got to try to and teach them and show them that you're going to love them and care for them.
No, absolutely. All children need to be nurtured. They need to be loved. They need to be taken care of. And just as a woman, you naturally have that nurturing instinct in you.
And I know that I could have, like we talked about earlier, I could have been one of those kids in the system, because of my mom. I could have been one of the kids in the system if it weren't for my dad and my dad's side of the family taking me in. So I've always felt, I just
Absolutely, I
yeah.
understand. Yeah, you can definitely relate to the situation at hand.
Mhm.
But I think that's beautiful because it saves lives, it saves children, and then it gives people, an opportunity to be able to fulfill their needs and nurture, nurture their nature.
And oh, I forgot to ask my dad's ex girlfriend, and if it weren't for her, I don't know what I would have. I don't even know what I would
Okay.
have been through.
Well, shout out to
Shout
Chanel,
out to you. I just wanted to say shout out
and
to her
thanks for
real quick.
contributing to her life, man, because
That's
she's
my
a star.
that's my dad's ex girlfriend, and he was
Okay.
actually with her longer than anybody besides my mom,
Okay.
and so she's still in my life. So if it weren't for her, I don't know where I would be.
So, every show I do a show and tell piece. So I asked her to bring something in that was personal, that had sentimental value to her, and to share the story behind it. So I'm gonna let her share that with everybody.
So I got this chain. It's a picture of me and my mom, and Eladio's cousin Carrie actually bought for me when my mom passed away in June, and it's on the back of it. It says my wings were ready, but my heart was not, and then it says her birthday and the day that she died, and I love this thing. I wear it all the time because it's literally like it's I don't know, it's sentimental. It's nice.
When I have loved ones that pass away, I feel like they live and they survive through me, through their loved ones in general. Like for all of our loved ones who have passed away, I feel like we're still a representation of them on earth.
Yeah.
And they up there, wherever they at, wherever the creator got our angels, they working. You know what I'm saying? And we got to work down here, and our people work wherever else they at.
Mhm.
So
And this thing, I don't know. I feel like um okay, so I went through my car rooftop into my car and then back out. Like it's crazy. It's like
that's
that's
dope.
the universe
That's
talking to
their
me. My
presence.
mom is still there
Absolutely.
with me. So like this thing means a lot to me. Like it really does.
That's dope. And it's the same thing for red cardinals, right?
Yeah.
Right, babe? Red cardinals
I
are
got a
like a
red cardinal
representation.
tattoo.
Okay, then.
I got this originally for my grandma Mary because she loved red cardinals and she passed away. And 5 years ago, she passed away 5 years ago, and I got it for her.